Good afternoon, class. How are you guys today?
Good.
Good. I'm pretty good myself. I'm glad that you guys are doing well, though. But okay, to start today's lesson, if you guys could just pull out a piece of paper and something to write with, that'd be great. Alright. So you know how we just started going over poetry our previous class? Well, today we're going to learn two important things of poetry today: similes and metaphors. So to start our lesson today, we're going to have an objective. So my objective is for all students will be able to define and distinguish the difference between a simile and a metaphor. Well, before, you guys are probably thinking like, what's a simile? What's a metaphor, Dr. Kev? Well, a simile is a figure of speech comparing two unlike things that is often introduced by like or as, and a metaphor is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase literally denoting one kind of object or idea is used in place of another to suggest a likeness or analogy between them. So, just to keep it really simple, a simile is when you're comparing two things and you use like or as. And the metaphor is just when you're comparing two different things to each other. So don't overthink it, but we're gonna go over some examples. I'll make sure you guys understand it before today's class ends. Do you guys have any questions before? No? All right, cool. So we're gonna go over some examples. Some examples I've put up is, first one, he is as fast as a mouse. It's a simile. It's simile because I use the word as. As soon as you see the word as, it's an automatic simile. Just remember that, all right? Like or as, it's a simile for sure. It's a little trick I like to use. Second one. She has red cheeks like roses. Joseph, why is that a simile?
Because you used the word like.
Awesome, great. You guys are getting it. All right, my next one. A heart of stone. It's a metaphor. Ruben, why isn't it a simile?
Because you didn't use like or as.
Great. Awesome. And the last example, a blanket of snow is a metaphor. Why? Because you haven't used like or as yet, and a blanket of snow, like snow isn't literally a blanket, but it's just the metaphor is pretty much just trying to say it's covered in snow. So smart cards are 3 cards and they have 3 different answers. Yes, no, and I'm confused. So throughout the lesson while I'm teaching, when I ask you guys a question like how are you feeling about it, or if I say something you guys have no clue, you can just throw up the I'm confused card. But throughout the lesson I'll be checking in with you guys, making sure everyone's on the same track. And I'm gonna say, so how are you guys feeling about this? How are you guys feeling about that? And you guys can either throw up the yes card or the no card. Simply metaphors. That way you guys can just work on it for a little bit. Just keep the names at the top and the date. And just give these worksheets a try. Just try to do them as best as you can. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be right over here.
I'm confused on number 12. Because it says, my teacher told me that ideas are wings. I can't tell which one it is, because to me it just looks like a sentence.
Okay, so we definitely know it's a simile or metaphor because it's comparing two things. So it's comparing ideas and wings. All right, so just a quick, easy way to figure out an answer for you. How do we know it's definitely not a simile?
Because it doesn't have a like or as.
All right, and since it doesn't use like or as, it means it's a
Metaphor.
perfect. All right, class, so I created a chair for you guys today. That way it can help you remember similes and metaphors a little bit. So I'm going to begin reading it, and then you guys just join me as soon as you like. Ready? Similes and metaphor are 2 things you got to know. They help you with poems, and they help you as you go. They're really easy to get, but you just have to see that similes and metaphors are as similar as can be. Similes and metaphors always compare 2 things, but they're different, like princes, queens, and kings. Similes always use like and as when you compare. Whenever you get confused, just listen to this chair. Metaphors compare things, but do not use as or like. It's really easy to understand, like riding a new bike. Metaphors are used and can be found everywhere. Just take a look around. You could probably find it here. Awesome, you guys like it?
Yes, cool.
Great. All right. So my ticket to leave today is just gonna be questions. So how are you guys feeling about today's lesson? You guys feel like you're learning?
Yeah.
All right. So with a show of cards, do you feel like you can distinguish the difference between a simile and a metaphor? Yes. And who thought this lesson was helpful? Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Class dismissed. Have a nice day.